school districts, other small entities, things like that. But I haven't really been putting much pressure on it because I want to also give myself time to, take a break because I don't want to overwhelm myself. So,
Exactly. You said the key thing is overwhelming yourself. A semester is typically what most people do. Some people go right into it.
mm-hmm.
Some people wait a year or so. But it's really what's up
Best
to
for you.
you. You know, you always want to keep um, yourself in mind because self care is very essential. Because if you are not taken care of, there's no way that you can complete the task at hand that
Right.
you're trying to complete. So it seems like with the overwhelming thing, I think that it's more anxiety. Yeah, like you were saying, because you have all of these options, and I feel as though that once you kind of narrow it down on the decision, well, first graduating, that's the big overwhelming thing is once you walk across that stage, you'll be able to,
Right.
and you'll be able to digest that all, and then finally reality will hit because it's like, okay, I'm finished with school. So during that break, do you have any plans? Are you doing anything after graduation?
During the break, the main goal is to actually apply and take another vacation.
Oh,
I been since I started my undergrad year, everything has been school, school, school. I've never had a summer break or so
okay.
during the breaks I was always in school. So actually that semester would help me like travel, actually get a feel to what exactly it is that I want to do. Why I have time instead of just jumping right into grad school and changing my major and trying to figure things out and it'll be too late.
Okay.
So I won't waste money, of course, and time. So
Okay. Well, like I stated to you previously, I would definitely recommend that you take that break because,
right.
like you said, you're just exhausted with constant, okay, fall semester, spring semester,
Syllabus.
summer one, summer two, and then back to so you haven't had a break at all. So that is, mentally draining. But the main thing is that you completed it, and so you should be very, very elated and proud of yourself. But you keep mentioning like jobs, and you're mentioning that you're still struggling with like the options as far as school. So um, let's do this. If you take the job,
Mhm.
what would be at this very point? Just think about you having your degree. What would be your typical job that
Um,
you're actually seeking right
if
now?
I'm basically I apply for a position to be emergency management specialist.
Okay.
Basically, that's like analyzing the city's emergency preparedness plans to
Okay.
make sure we have like key components on all the evacuation plans to make sure that everything goes out. So when I apply for that position, those will be the things that I be doing. So if I get the job, are you asking me like, will I still be considering school?
What
Or
I'm first asking you is to describe the typical job.
right,
So
the
what you
emergency
were doing.
management specialist.
So that's the job that you hope to
Apply
get
for
right now.
because majority of entry level jobs, you're
Okay.
kind of like someone's kind of watching over you, like training you, of course, because you want to get familiar with it. But most jobs start as specialist or trainee or
Okay.
things like that until you build your way up. It's all of like literally majority of it surrounds experience. Like
Okay.
so
Okay.
for example, like FEMA's hiring for inspectors, emergency management inspectors for people. We still have victims suffering from Harvey.
Mhm.
that people that actually go out and inspect their homes and make sure, if they're living in a flood prone area, to tell them, encourage them to move so this won't happen to them again. Things like that.
Okay.
So that's small compared to all the other big time jobs with emergency management. Just things like that to get a feel for things.
So would you be interested in a FEMA job?
Yes, but you have to think about it when you're doing that. It's kind of seasonal. It's not really seasonal, but you're only hired if there's a natural disaster. So it's not a 24/7 all around the clock job. So they call you when they need you in case of a disaster happens. But you'll always be a part of the organization. But if there's not work offered all the time, you see. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that'll be like something that could be a possible second job, or something just to say I did or volunteer for.
Okay, super. So you're looking for something more so
permanent
and full time.
Right. Something I can start, building a lifestyle and moving and living comfortably and getting ready and starting my career there.
Is there a certain particular amount of pay that you're seeking?
Anything's better than $10. I'm just kidding. Not really. I don't want to say I'm picky, but I feel like I got the degree. I deserve better pay,
absolutely.
But anything more than $20,000 a year.
Okay.
I wouldn't take anything less than that. Like,
of course,
but,
of course.
More than that.
Okay. So the next thing that I want to discuss is the school spectrum. So what would be like a typical grad, like for grad school? Like how would you, I would say this, just like you described your typical job that you would like, I would like to know basically like how grad school would go as far as like your day-to-day lifestyle as a grad student.
Like if I had the emergency management specialist job?
Yes. No, not if you had the emergency management specialist job, because you're not going to be working. Now you're actually just going to be attending a university.
Right.
So I want to know, like, what would that lifestyle consist of?
Being in grad school?
Yeah, being in grad school. What would you like to happen? Like when you was an undergrad?
Okay. To be more hands-on. Okay. I'm all for hands-on. Majority of my undergrad was online. Like I cannot tell you the last time I seen a professor and I was actually inside of a class. So in grad school, the key thing I'm looking for is hands-on. Actually seeing my professor right on the board, interacting, going out, doing things, projects, I know grad school is full of group projects and group work and a lot of research. So I'm looking forward to actually doing something. Well, I do. Don't get me wrong. You do a lot in online, but face-to-face class, it's a whole different
connection.
Right, and it's a much better feeling. You can understand more when someone is actually face-to-face and teaching you. So.
Okay. I will agree with that. You do. You build a better rapport because it's not like a bunch of typing and then you waiting for a response. You can actually go to class.
Right.
You can hear the lectures, so you're not only just seeing it, you're hearing it, and the interaction actually helps you retain the information more. So I will agree. So with you looking at both sides, the graduate side and the job side, do you think that you have a decision now, or do you think it's feel as though that you need more time?
More time, because I've never was the type of person to take time off, like just take a break and be like, oh, I'm not going back to it. I'm very persistent, so I won't fall off. But I feel like taking a semester off is just exactly what I need, because at first I didn't want to take a semester off. I wanted to jump right into it, But then I noticed how serious graduate school is and how much of a difference it is from undergraduate. So it's not really something that you want to mess up and just jump right into. So I'm not trying to be perfect because I know nobody's perfect, but you want to also make sure, you know, you're making the very best decision.
Okay, you mentioned earlier as far as like coping with adulthood and preparing for life. What exactly do you need assistance with? Like, what is it that you are struggling? If you could name like maybe one or two things.
Oh, insurance.
Okay.
You know, once you get the good job and the benefits, you want to start actually having health, dental insurance. So you know you don't have to actually worry about, oh, if I just get the common cold, or you know, worry about fees, expenses and fees that you have to pay at the local emergency room or a doctor. Me actually finding a career that I like and working, I know it'll come with benefits, so I wouldn't have to worry about like medical fees. So that's what kind of the anxiety comes from, like just I'm overly worried about things that I shouldn't even probably be worried about right now. Like you said, I just need to worry about actually graduating. But that's probably my main concern is just living a comfortable lifestyle, not worried about, you know, how bills are going to get paid. But I don't worry about that now. But, you know, when I leave this job, I want to make sure that the next job I'll be working, I'll be comfortable working. You see?
Yeah, basically that you can um, ensure that you have the basic necessities like you have now,
Right.
which is food, shelter, and water, and then eventually get to the point of self-actualization. So you mentioned insurance, so you want to be able to make sure that you are living the supposed life after college life. That's what you're worried
healthy
about.
Life.
You want a healthy
a
life.
healthy life.
Okay.
Nothing. I don't care about fancy stuff. I have transportation. That's fine. The only thing is just making sure that if anything was to happen, that I'll be taken care of. You know, anything, because we never know what's gonna happen. But the main thing is just health, life insurance, dental, eye, and all that.
Okay. Have you looked into different types of insurance policies, like that's income based?
Right. Yeah. Now I'm with one of my parents.
Okay.
So I have one now, but just preparing, like we have conversations where I'm like, well, there'd be like, my mom's like, you have looked into something on your own when you get a job, you know, just kind of preparing me, not really pressuring me to like look into insurance programs on my own, which I've been thinking about it, but I mean, I'm not really in a rush because she knows and I know like it takes time to get a job. So, but for now, it's just kind of up in the air.
Okay. So basically, that you're just trying to prepare, you know, and you're doing some extreme preparations, which
Right.
is, you know, good. It's a good thing that you do have insurance, and just so you know, you can be on your parents' insurance up until the age of 26. Yes, so that is a good thing. But if in the event that you do have to have insurance on your own, there are different plans like the Obamacare that is income based.
Right.
So you will still be able to get all the coverages that you wanted, the dental, the life, and the health care, but it will be at a price that's affordable where you can afford the price, because it's not based on the actual policy and what the policy entails. It's based on what's your overall family income. So that would be a super option. And then you also know that the state provides Medicaid as well for you up until a certain age. And even if you can't get anything but the that's okay. The Texas Women's Health, that is another option that's available too, where they'll cover like your well woman exams. If you have any diabetes, high blood pressure, just checkups like that, it does cover, so that you'll be able to not be without insurance. It's not where you would be able to get the eye insurance and everything, but eye insurance is not, as expensive, and dental isn't either. So those are some cheaper plans that you can find. But like I said, the Obamacare does offer